Morning, everybody. Trace again. This is only 2 days after the previous premiere video. We are still at Bhopal in central India. And we are going down to Victor Oscar Delta Golf this morning, which is only a couple of 100 miles away, for another practice approach. I think it's 5 mile visibility all over India. The last one, as you remember, did not go that well. We did get landed, but we went through the fence because we didn't see the airport in time. And as I said at the time, I was going to be doing a lot of thinking about what I had done wrong and go back and reviewing the video. And I've done that. Did a few things wrong. It's always like, if you look at air tragedies or disasters, there's always multiple factors which come together, and this was no exception. The first thing that was wrong was that I had screwed up the fuel flow scaler in the aircraft config file, and as it turned out, in the entry that has fuel flow scaler, I wanted it to be 0.8, and I had put an extra decimal point in, which negated the whole statement, which is why the airplane was showing no fuel burn. That screwed things up, and that was a distraction. Then I got too close in before I set up the perpendicular. I was only 15 miles out, and I've told myself to set this up, you need to be at least 20 miles away and get those 2 pointers to line right up so that you're coming right at the runway. So we're going to make sure, or we're going to try to make sure we do that. And I probably wasn't thinking about the altitude properly because coming in, I was too high. So, the flight line flight has started. The NPAC crew is on board. I probably shouldn't be videoing this because it's probably going to be, you guys are probably going to be a distraction. But you've come with me this far. So just get in the back of the airplane and try not to be too much of a pain in the butt. And we'll see if we can get this going. You're not going to be a pain in the butt. I'm kidding. All right, battery on. Lights up. Don't need landing or taxi yet. We do want all these on except for the seat belts and the smoking sign. Each of those two on the right, and we want these all on. That one on, that one's already on. That one on, that one on, that one on. Open the door, we'll fix the coffee tables in a minute. Okay, let's get the engine started before the generators kick out. Outside, close her up. Make sure the lights are working, they are. Okay. I'm delighted that this is working the way it's supposed to be working. This airplane, as I said before, since the last download, is a much steadier platform. It is not causing the sim to crash every time I do a flight reset. Or before, it was causing the sim to crash frequently when I would just try to load it. So that's all good. Unfortunately, we still don't have the Navigraph system up, and at this point, I'm not sure that'll ever happen. Okay. Fire it up. Make sure we're at the flight idle position. We are, of course. Okay, engine started. Let's get the Garmin up. And we're going to Victor Oscar Delta Golf. scroll up. Dundagul, EAF Academy. Yep, that's it. Whatever. 345 miles away. Okay. All right. Set up the nav systems. Scroll up. Scroll up. Okay, the pink pointer right there, that's the direction of our destination. The course pointer is whatever we want to put it to. We want to put it to the direction of the runway in use. So let's call ATC and get clearance to take off. In 5 mile visibility, that's marginal. They might call it IFR, in which case we'll just go.
Bhopal ground, November 461 Kilo Tango. Request taxi for takeoff. Departing straight out. November 461 Kilo Tango. Taxi 2 and hold short of runway 24. Using taxiway. Contact tower on 118.05 when ready. Taxi 2 and hold short runway 24. Via taxiway 1 Kilo Tango.
Scroll down 45. 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 Scroll up 5. Close enough. Okay, mouse yoke active. Brakes off. Get going. We might be taxiing through the grass a little bit here. I'm not going to get too worried about that. This is a pretty small area to turn around in. Yeah, I can't quite cut that. That's all right. Get a progressive on and make sure we're going the right way. Okay. Okay, this is just the taxiway. That's the runway out there. Okay. I did a practice of this last night. It didn't go well because of dinner and everything else. I wasn't really concentrating. So now I'm alone in the house. No distractions except you guys. If you'll just sit there and be quiet and behave yourselves, you won't be a problem, I hope. Actually, you can't help but be a problem. That's not your fault, that's my fault, but we'll try. Okay, takeoff clearance.
Bhopal Tower, November 461 Kilo Tango. Ready for departing straight out at runway 24.
November 461 Kilo Tango, cleared for takeoff. Runway 24. Straight out departure approved.
Keep the notch of flaps in.
Cleared for takeoff. Runway 24. 1 Kilo Tango.
looks pretty soupy out there, doesn't it? Good. That's what we want. We'll get above it on our way. Before I start bragging on how steady I've got the mouse yoke. Pretty steady. Remember, you've seen some of the previous ones, I was wobbling all over the place. I'm getting better at it. Holding the nose down so we get some airspeed built up. Alright, let's see if she'll fly. Come on, honey. There we go. You're up. Autopilot.
Tango, you are leaving my airspace.
Altitude hold. Scroll up 20. Scroll down 20. Okay. Start for that. There's a heading pointer. Scroll up 45. Scroll up 45. Scroll up 45. Last time I wasn't looking at the directions of the fletching of the little arrows, and I had it going the wrong way. Scroll down 2. Let's check our airspeed. Okay, flaps up. Take a look at the airplane. Did we get the gear up? We did. Okay, this is going very well. Now, let's see. This is a how long of a trip? $342 miles. What do we set? 22.6. Okay, let's put the altitude to hundreds of feet rather than thousands. We do that by secondary clicking right there. 22.6. What are eastbound? Scroll up 10. Scroll down 23.5. Perfect. Check our airspeed. It's 274, 275. Scroll down 10. A little more climb in. Scroll down 10. Still climbing. Scroll down 10. Scroll down 20. Speed now 316. You're going to be getting an alarm pretty soon if you don't slow down. Okay, now it's dropping off. Just sit tight like that. Let's go to 2x. Climbing nicely through 11,000. Set the altimeter. Not that matters when we're climbing. Airspeed's dropping nicely. We'll let it get down around 250 and then we'll lower the nose. Meantime, just let these people start getting into their coffee. scroll up 20. Scroll up 20. I am getting better. I'm figuring out setting up the altitude. You know, what I learned, and I was not doing it right initially. Oh, whoa, generator's on. Holy jeez. The engine, the other day, the engine just quit. And I thought it was because I had not turned the generators on. There must be something wrong with that idea because, I mean, if that was the case, the engine this morning would have quit a long time ago. Okay, well, anyway, we got pitot heat on. I mean, we got generators up, and we got pitot heat on. And here we have a green board. Okay. All right. But the correct way when you take off, do not turn the autopilot on initially. Take off, climb to, I don't know, maybe just 1,000 feet. Turn the autopilot on, then turn altitude hold on. Before you turn the hold on first, then set the altitude up to the altitude you want. Then come over here to the scroll wheel and set your climb. You really need to do it in that order. Well, let's have a look at the fuel burn to make sure we're burning fuel. Holy Jesus, should have checked that already. Whoops. We are burning right now 425 pounds an hour per engine in full throttle climb mode. That's fine. We're settling down at altitude now. So let us get our burn down to around 99 something. 94 is too low. Let's see what that does to the airspeed. It's increasing. All right. 61. If it stays at, that's at 90. That's only 185 pounds an hour per side. That's very good economy. We'll see where it's dropping still. See where the drop settles out. You know, hopefully it'll settle out down in the low 200s, and we'll just leave it there. Yeah, it's creeping down very slowly. I think that's what'll happen. Let's go to the reps. And this pink line here should be a distance to the destination. Looks like 274. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, 273. That's what it is. All right. Airspeed is settling down in the 230 range. The burn now. Oh, see, look, the burn's going up a little. That's okay. Get closer in so my blind old eyes can see it. 235 a side. All right. At 1.8, I've got the fuel flow scaler right now at 1.8. I believe that in an ideal world, if I had it set at 1.0, which should mean, you know, nominal, what the real one actually burns. In this case, it probably will be pretty close. Greg Mink, the Premier One driver, has said that his has a range of about, I think, 1,400 miles. And if we had this set at 1.0, know, that would be about it. Frankly, I'm cheating because I want this airplane to have a better range than that. For the kind of trip I'm on right now, especially around the world, I really needed to. Let's see how we're doing with the course line. Pretty good. And you know, you can monkey around with it all you want. The download that came from Carinado, I found it at 1.66, and when I looked the other day, I was indicating burning like, you know, cruising along like this 385 pounds an hour per side, ridiculously high. So you know, they can have it all over the place. Right now, I've got mine set at 0.8, which is 80%, and this is the burn I'm getting. So I've probably got a 2,000 mile range. And, you know, when you're traveling around the world, you really need a 2,000 mile range. So you can call me a cheater if you want. That's fine. The FSC people would. But you know, I'm not flying to play a competitive game and, you know, being held against some kind of rules. I'm flying because I like to fly. I'm capable of making this airplane do this, so I am. And you know, if Hawker Beechcraft had wanted the Premier to have a 2,000 mile range, they would have figured something out. They would have put bigger tanks in, more powerful engines, and they would have made it to where it would. They decided that this little jet, you know, was well set up with this kind of a range, mainly for the kind of flying that Greg Mink does, you know, from his home base in Indianapolis Executive Airport down to Houston, or sometimes he goes down to the islands. You know, he's been across the ocean, but that's a big deal. You can cross the Atlantic with a 1,400 mile range. You can't cross the Pacific unless you do it through the Aleutians. And where I am right now, you know, it's much better to have a longer range. So call me a cheater if you want to. Now let's see, what are we doing? We're at 2x. Now see what you made me do. I'm not paying attention. How long is this flight going to take at this rate? Well, 38 minutes. That'll be 19 real-time minutes. Let's go to 4x. That'll make it take 10 real-time minutes. And you know, say it takes 10 real-time minutes, that doesn't mean I'm going to be on the ground in 10 minutes. That means I'm going to be in the vicinity of the airport in 10 minutes. You still have to go through all the approach, descent, setup for landing, and landing stuff. And that always takes time. This is not the only flight I want to do today. In fact, I want to possibly fly the Premier again down to the southern tip of India and do another practice approach. We'll see where things are at, you know, when we get there. I just want to set this one up, and I want to do it right. I want to start from at least 20 miles away so that I can get those pointers to line up just bang, spot on. That's the only way I'm going to approach that runway properly and start my top of descent at 10 miles away and make a good descent. Everybody doing all right back there? Yeah, we're doing great. Okay. Get a little closer to the course line. Scroll up to. Now we've not had any problems so far with voice attack blocking up. And I think that's a matter of karma, something else. See, we're not lined up with the pointer as it is. Scroll up to. Now it's just slightly heading toward it. That'll do. When we get a little closer, I'll check the weather there. And if it's not 5 mile visibility or less, I'm going to make it. Something like that. 164, okay. In a couple of days, I'm getting my first cataract procedure, and I'm hoping on the other side of that, I'm getting both eyes done. I'm getting the left eye done Friday. This is Wednesday. And I'm hoping to just have spot on 20/20 vision, at least out of that eye, and not have to be talking about my blind old eyes anymore. My eyesight in the last 6 months has just gone in the tank. And hopefully, the cataract operation, which they're saying will work, will work. I guess it's has a very high rate of success. The guy the ophthalmologist that is going to do mine is a pretty nice fellow, and he's got a hell of a good reputation. Allegedly, he's done 30,000 of these and hasn't had a single problem. So that's the national, international, whatever percentage is like 1,000 to 1. So it's pretty good odds of success. You know, a pilot just can't be blind. I mean, you've got to have good vision. You know, it's just not part of the scheme of things that you have crappy vision like mine. You know, even in Flight Simulator, it's the demand for good vision is just as strong in Flight Sim. It might even be stronger because you're looking through a TV monitor rather than in reality, which is not as good. So you really need good vision. What a nice airplane. I just love this Premier. India, as I've said, my experience with India, and you know, I've been doing this since the 90s. I've been here many times. The weather is always, well, I won't say the weather's crappy. It rarely, I won't say it rarely rains. If it's not the monsoon season, it doesn't rain that much, but the visibility always sucks. 5 miles of visibility is good visibility in India. And since I've been here this recent trip, it's been 5 miles. It was 5 miles at Mumbai, 5 miles at Bhopal, and I'm expecting it's going to be 5 miles here. We'll wait till we get to 100 miles out, and then we'll check the weather. Well, we're 95 miles out now. Okay, Downing slowers. What am I doing? Dumbass. That's where you go if you want to change the weather. Hopefully I don't have to change the weather. Go to world weather. Now I'm going to go to world math. I'm not going to change the weather here. I'm going to see what the weather is. Okay. Viz 5 miles. Okay, wind is 241 at 5, gusts 8. Field elevation is, there you go, blind old man, take a look. 2013, that's 2.5. My top of descent at 10 miles from the end of the runway is 3,000 feet above ground level. Ground level here is 2013. So my top of descent is going to be 5,000 feet. Going into a runway line with we'll go to 2.8. 2.8, a concrete runway. Does it have a tower? It does. 2.8, right. Oh, so it's 10. Oh, it's 2 parallels. Okay. Fine. We'll go to what they give us. They're going to give us 2.8, either right or left. Okay. So 2.5 is the elevations. And you can set your pointer at 2.8 now. That's what we will do. Oh, now look at this. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, I'm going to go right a little bit. Line that up better. Scroll up 5. Scroll up 2. Okay. Now this. Scroll up 20. Scroll up 20. Scroll down 2. Okay, that's 2.8. Okay, so we're coming in almost perpendicular. So what we'll do when we get in close, and let's see, how many minutes out are we now? Oh geez, we're 13 minutes out. Time for some descending. Scroll down 45. Scroll down 45. Scroll down 45. Scroll up 20. Miles out. Okay, we're at 2x, right? Yeah, we can stay at that. See what that's doing to the airspeed. Airspeed's dropping. Down to the high 100s, that's not bad. Kick a tiny bit more power back in. Just get the airspeed to quit dropping so much. Okay, now. How close are we? I wish I could see this better. 59 it looks like. Yes. Okay. Whoa. Oh, jeez, we're all over the place. Scroll up 5. In a thunderstorm. How's the wind? Is the wind coming over from the right side? It sure is. That's what's blowing us away from the course line. I keep having to correct to the right. I'm going to make one last good-sized correction to the right. Scroll up 10. Get us over to the course line as we get closer. What are we going down to? 13. No. Scroll down 45. Scroll down 45. Where are we now? 4, 5. Scroll up 10. Okay, it was 2.5. That's where we are. All right. Take a look at that. Okay, as an extra precaution, I'm going down to 1x now. I wouldn't usually until 37 miles out, but in this case, I want to get stuff really nicely under control. This is the kind of stuff I do in the Falcon 7X too. You know, I start doing everything much sooner than I otherwise would. But I'm not familiar with a lot of this stuff. It's a lot of it new. And I don't want it happening too fast. Okay, we're getting there. Good. Thunderstorms in the area. Well, we're sandwiched now between layers. This is going to be interesting. Flash. Now 37 miles out. Oh, now the wind is the opposite direction. It's blowing me into the course line. Okay, we can correct back now. Scroll down 10. See what that does. It's not enough. Scroll down 10. That's probably not enough either, but that's what we're going to do right now. Actually, that might be close. Okay, 32 miles out. I'm going to start heading over toward perpendicular land. Scroll down 45. See what that does. Now keep in mind, this pink pointer is always pointing at the destination. To our destination, or to our top of descent altitude. Set altimeter. Pressure is 29.93. Fine, fine, fine. Now let's see what that looks like. Okay, we're within range of the tower, so let's call him. You better not tell me some other runway. One never knows.
Academy Tower, November 461 Kilo Tango.
tower. Airport is currently IFR, request denied.
Okay. See if they would aid us. No, they don't. Shit. Try that one more time. Nope. Alright. Let's re-up the weather from the world map view. This close in, it ought to be pretty accurate. See, there's the airplane turning off to get onto its perpendicular course. See, we want to get down here to have a good perpendicular and then turn on to the final course. Wind is 005. Shit. At what? 0. Gusting to 5. I don't think we need to worry about it. 2-4, what would be? This is the least of our worries. What's the visibility? Oh, great, now it's 2 miles. Wonderful. All right, holy shit. This is going to be rough. This is going to be rough. Well, that's why we came to India. This is not going to be pretty. You guys better fasten your seatbelts. Yeah, we're in the shit now. You know, if I was very experienced at this and very good at every little part of these procedures, I might have a little more confidence. But as it is, nah. But we're going to do it. I mean, we're going to attempt to do it. And if you guys never see this video, well, because it went so badly, I was too embarrassed to show it to you. But those of you that were along on the last flight from Mumbai to Bhopal, you know, we did get down on the runway, but we were too far down the runway and we were too hot and we went through the fence on the other side. You know, and something like that is pretty likely to happen today. But at least so far we're set up properly. Watching the pointer come around. The pink pointer will eventually, the goal is to have it on top of the green pointer. The green pointer is not moving. The green pointer is pointing at the runway. That's lined up with the plane of the runway, 240. When this comes around and it's lined up at 240, then we will lock the heading on to where we're coming in, and hopefully they're both staying on top of each other as we come in. In the Falcon, we do the same thing, except it has a nav which works so that as soon as the pink pointer is on top of the green pointer, bam, you hit LNAV and that locks it on. And then it'll track you right to the, you'll just follow that right in. This does not lock on, unfortunately. So you just got to have heading holding it. There's the key right there. The nav function remains off, and I do not know how to get it to work. What's that? See that it says it's on. Does it say on? No, wait a minute. It says on. I've never had it come on before. So what? What's it doing? I've never had nav be on before. It's on, but what's it doing? It's not doing anything. Okay, I'm not going to worry about that right now. But that's something for the future. I wonder if somehow that can tie in with the FMC, and maybe the nav will work through the FMC function. Whoops. See, the pink line is coming around. What's our distance? 22 miles. I'm staying just like this then. That's okay, that's good. Let's turn it right a little bit. Scroll up 10. Scroll up 10. Scroll up 10. See what I did there? I was fooling around trying to get the abstract of the FMC up. That did not work, but it locked up voice attack for a second. When I first told it to scroll up, it didn't do it. So then I manually clicked the mouse 5 times, click, 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 and then it worked. So go figure. I don't know. Anyway, 22 miles. Okay. See, there's the perpendicular line from the runway. There's the runway heading direction. See where I'll run the right side where my mouse pointer is. That right there is the perpendicular. That's what I'm going to be wanting to get lined up to pretty soon. It's showing 22 miles out. I really want to get these two to get on top of each other at a range of 20 miles. They're much less critical when they're farther away. It's a lot easier to set them up and then lock them in and then bring her in. That's the theory. I can turn perp now. Okay, I'm going to turn perpendicular. Scroll up 20. Scroll up 10. Scroll up 10. That's pretty much perpendicular. So we'll be crossing the plane of the runway. 4,600? There, 4,000, 5,000. 3,000 feet above ground level. When that pink pointer is laying on top of the green pointer, that's when it's all going to happen. We're going to turn final. Actually, I will start the turn a little bit before that so that you Because as it's coming in, I want it to be right there. If it's not right there, then I got to adjust it to make it right there. That's the only way we're going to be lined up with the runway. And it's tough. I'm a little worried about this. I just don't know any other way to do it. You know, anybody can show you an airplane flying in decent weather and make a visual landing. That is not a great challenge, nor is it in this thing. If you've been watching these videos, you've seen me do it. I can routinely land it very nicely. It's a very nice landing airplane when I can see. The reason I do this from farther away is this coming together of these two is happening more slowly. So it's easier to control. When you're doing it from 10 miles away, man, they come together like bam, right now. You know, and it's going to be all over the place. And it's just too critical. You just don't have the ability. Well, we're down to 160. That's a little slow. Kick a little more power in. Okay, that's good. I don't want to be too hot, but by the time we get done having gear down and kicking the flaps in, we're going to be dropping some airspeed anyway. Well, that's a little hot. Okay, getting close. I'm watching it come together. So we're 19 miles from top of descent. That's pretty good. Okay, let's bring her around. Scroll up 45. Scroll up 45. Coming around, coming around. Oh, we're right there. The way you adjust is to push the pink line to the green line if necessary. I think it's going to be spot on. It's damn near dead on. Scroll up 5. Boy, geez, look at that. I couldn't ask for more than that. Okay, airspeed 206, that'll be fine when we start dropping dirty stuff. Now we want to watch that, but they've got to be as close to dead on as possible. Man, that is dead freaking on. The wind is coming over the right quarter at 4 knots. 15 miles out. Spot on, spot on. I can't ask for more than that. Okay. Gear down. Not your flaps. Airspeed 190. Airspeed should be a little lower than that. Okay, we're going to let it go down. 160, 150 be a good landing speed. And I, in my overall flying career, have a little bit of a tendency to come in hot. Scroll up 5. minute that goes to a 9 in the upper corner there, then we're at top of descent. We start descending at what? 800 a minute. Okay. That's not the best. Oh, way too slow. Scroll down 20. Scroll down 10. Scroll up 10. $150. She's showing 1,000. Scroll up 5. I want to get down to where I can see the ground, then I'll relax the descent. Now we're a little hot. Slow down. Wait. Scroll up 10. Scroll up 5.
2,500.
At what range? 6 miles. All right. Man, we must be close. Over to the left.
Think rate. Think rate.
It's to the left. It's to the left.
1,000.
There it
Bank
is.
angle.
There it is. Wait a minute.
Bank
Is
angle.
that it? Might be.
Think rate. Think rate. Think rate.
Yourself out. Take a look. There it is. There it is. There it is. There it is.
Think rate. Think rate.
500.
400. Think
All right.
rate.
Stay with
Bank
it. Stay with
angle.
it. Try to save it.
Bank angle. 400. Bank angle.
Straighten it.
Think rate.
300.
Whoa.
Think rate.
Looking good. Looking
Minimums.
good.
Minimums.
Think rate.
Up. Close.
Think rate. Angle. 100. Think rate. Bank angle.
And she's all over the place. Well, we got it in sight pretty good. We
Bank
gotta learn
angle.
to.
100. Bank angle. Bank angle.
See, she's just floating and floating and floating.
Bank angle.
I'll just drop her in.
10.
All right. Well, we landed it. Needs a little bit of work, but we got the runway in sight. That's, you know, in the middle of a thunderstorm. There's all kinds of other stuff going on. We landed it. It wasn't terribly pretty, as it were, but it was a landing. Have you ever heard me say that before? Maybe about 10,000 times. Well, it's progress. We got the runway in sight in a civilized way, and then we screwed it up on the final part of the approach. We just lost control of the airplane. That might be part of my noviceness at managing the mouse yoke. Where's the tower? Over there. Okay. And I don't know what. We'll have to review this video and see. Okay. So now I'm going to tell you the truth. This is a reshoot. Whoops, there's the gas. We don't want to go there. Of the original video, which we have spliced in if we've gotten away with it. See if you can see where we spliced it in. The first flight went great until we got about a mile from the airport, and then we screwed up the last part of the landing. So I just couldn't stand it. I just wanted to do it again. This one was much better. It still leaves a lot to be desired, but if I'm going to go with anything, I'm going to go with this. So, Flightline flight is completely over. So we're not going to get a little white box, and that's no problem. Flightline is showing us at this airport, even though that landing was a disaster. This one was not a disaster, it just wasn't very good, as it were. Okay, and you notice I've got the FMC up and working. I'm not showing you the part of the video where I attempted to hook it up to nav, because that was not successful anyway. We got more work to do there. But anyway, let's shut her down. Well, it was sort of civilized. You know, I'd have to say we can call it progress. Excuse me. But we don't have it under control yet. So that's going to be the end of this one. I'm not sure where we're going from here. We're just going to have to stay at it. Maybe I'll do a couple more and not video them. You guys can be a bit of a distraction. I don't know. Get the lights off. Get out of here. That one doesn't even click. I don't know what the deal is with that one. Whoa. Okay. Well, I wouldn't exactly call it a great flight, but it was a very instructive flight, and it was an okay flight. So, thanks for coming along. We'll see what we're going to do next time. In the meantime, I'm Trace, and we'll catch you later.